In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. It's given me much pleasure to present to you some hints about Unit 18, Inheritance, with you, Mr. Mostafa, biology teacher. Okay, let's start our revision with the chromosomes. So, what is the meaning of chromosomes? As you know before, in the nucleus of every cell, there are a number of long streets called chromosomes. So let's know about chromosomes by this video.
Stated Clearly presents What is a
A
chromosome?
chromosome.
In previous animations, we learned that DNA is a spiraling chain-like molecule made up of 4 different types of nucleotides. Scientists have labeled them A, C, T, and G. We also learned that a gene is a long stretch of DNA, a specific sequence of A's, C's, T's, and G's that code for something. What does it?
So genes is a specific sequence of S, CS, TS, and GS that code for something.
A specific sequence of A's, C's, T's, and G's that code for something. What does a gene code for? Usually a protein or a group of proteins, though there are a few exceptions. In multicelled creatures like ourselves, proteins, which are coded for by genes, interact with other proteins and molecules to make up living cells. Cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, and organs ultimately make...
So. First, you have a cell, okay? In this cell, there is a nucleus. Inside this nucleus, there is DNA. Inside DNA, genes. Gene can produce protein, as you see in this picture. Protein can form living cell. Living cell connected together give me tissues. Tissues give me some organs, as like stomach, bones, and heart.
make up entire living creatures. Individuals have different traits, in this case differences in beak shape, largely because of differences or mutations in their genetic code. These differences can either cause changes in a specific protein's shape, and therefore its function, or mutations can change when or how much of a particular protein will be produced. Now that you clearly understand these 3 terms,
So DNA,
and by the way, feel free to pause the video to study them if need be, it is now time to talk about chromosomes. A chromosome is an entire chain of DNA along with a group of stabilizing proteins. You may have seen images showing DNA trapped inside a chromosome, sort of like this. This is not how chromosomes hold their DNA.
Yes.
If you were to unravel a chromosome, you would see that it's made of a thread, sort of like a
So this is chromosome, okay?
spool of
It
yarn.
contain or consists
Zoom in
of
again and you'll see that fiber is made of a thread, sort of like a spool of yarn. Zoom in again and you'll see that fiber is a collection of protein orbs called histones, which are wrapped with a string-like structure. Zoom in on that string and you'll find that this is the chain of DNA.
So
It is
chromosome consists of 2 molecules, protein and DNA. Protein, this is white thing is called protein, and this is DNA. So the main structure of chromosome is protein and DNA.
Extremely long, millions of nucleotides long, and often contains hundreds of genes along its length. In this image, we're looking at a chromosome in its condensed, yarn-like form, but chromosomes are only packaged tightly like this when a cell is reproducing. This structure helps with durability as the cell is splitting in
Cell
two.
division.
For most of a cell's life, however, it helps with durability.
This is cell division. Firstly, you begin your life as a single cell. It's called zygote, formed by a fusion of an egg cell and sperm cell. The nuclei of each of these gametes contain a single complete set of 23 chromosomes. When they fuse together, they produce zygote with 46 chromosomes. A cell with single set of chromosomes, such as gametes, it's said haploid. Hap is meaning 1. So haploid is 1n. And the nucleus of the zygote contained 2 sets of chromosomes. It was a diploid. Double as like double. So it means 2n. Okay? This is N,
as the cell is split.
this is N, and this is N. This is haploid and this is haploid.
splitting in two.
They together.
For most of a cell's
Together
life,
form
however,
the
chromosomes exist in a loose, noodle-like structure, along with other chromosomes safe inside the nucleus or centerpiece of a cell.
So
Here
again,
is a
sorry.
photograph safe
Again,
inside the
This is a cell. This is a nucleus. Okay.
nucleus or centerpiece of a cell.
This is a chromatin. It's called chromatin.
Here is a photograph of an entire
Here's
set of
the
human
human
chromosomes
chromosomes.
taken from a cell right as it was getting ready to reproduce. Your genome, the entire collection of genes that help make you who you are,
This is human
are
chromosomes. Human chromosomes. It's about four. Sorry, 46. Yes, 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, until you arrive to the last two. The last two is sexual chromosomes, XY or XZ. Sorry, if XX or XY. In the man, XY. In the woman, XX. Okay.
written across 23 pairs of chromosomes. That's 46 altogether.
Yes.
With very few exceptions, each cell in your body contains its own full copy of your chromosomes,
Yes.
your entire genetic code. Eyeball cells only use the eyeball cell genes, the rest are turned off. Liver cells only use liver cell genes, the rest are turned off, and so on for each cell type. One member of each pair of your chromosomes came from your mother, the other came from your father.
Yes. The chromatids in red comes from your father, and in blue comes from your mother. So you have two chromosomes. One from your father and the other from your mother. Okay?
If you were to examine the two individuals of a pair, you'd find that for the most part, both contain the exact same genes in the exact same locations. If you were to zoom into the actual genetic code, however, you would find slight sequence variations between them. These are the results of mutations. Most
Okay. They are called homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosome, or same chromosome, because they have the same genes and the same locations.
of these mutations happened long ago
Yes,
and have been passed down from parent to child for many generations. Others, however, are completely unique to you. These mutations occurred either in the sperm or egg, which
This is egg.
fused
Again,
to make you. These mutations occurred either in the sperm or egg,
yes, this is sperm 1N and this is egg cell 1N. This sperm has 23 chromosomes and this egg has 23 chromosomes.
which fused to make you,
This is a mutation.
or they occurred early on in your development, making it into all or many of your cells
This
as you
zygote.
matured. These unique mutations represent brand new genetic information, sequences of DNA that may have never been seen before in the history of the cosmos. So, to sum things up, what exactly is a chromosome?
Yes,
A chromosome is an entire chain of DNA along with a group of stabilizing proteins. Humans typically have 23 pairs of chromosomes in each of their cells. That's 46 altogether. In your body, one member of each pair came from your father, the other from your mother. For most of a cell's life, chromosomes exist in a loose, noodle-like structure. Chromosomes are copied and then condensed like spools of yarn for durability when a cell prepares to reproduce by splitting in two.
Yes.
I'm John Perry, and that is a chromosome. Stated clearly. This animation was paid for by our viewers. If you'd like to see more, consider supporting us at patreon.com/.
And function. Variations in DNA instructions can make a difference to how a living being looks, develops,
This is our vision.
or responds to its environment. The complete set of a living being's DNA instructions is called a genome. Our human-
genome means all chromosomes or gene you have.
Genetic instructions crammed into our cells are made up of more than 6,000 million DNA letters
6 million.
are divided across 46 chromosomes.